Hello and welcome back. So today's video is going to be about a couple of updates, exciting updates if you ask me. So we're going to start over here with Miss Sunshine, and I am in a room that doesn't have a lot of things in it, so it is going to sound a little more echoey. Also, I closed the door because there's a little bit of noise going on in my home right now. But so we repotted Miss Sunshine, and to answer the question about the spike continued. So what I did with her for the first week after repotting her, I watered her every day to make sure that those roots would not desiccate on me. And we can get in there and see all of those roots are still nice and healthy, and we even have growing tips coming out now. So that is can't speak. Beautiful news. And so during the Care Club video for the Schilleriana here, I showed you guys our roots here, and I got distracted. I said I thought I saw a new leaf, and look at there, guys. I did see a new leaf coming in. Now, here's the question though. Is she going to keep her other structures as she's growing this new leaf? So that's going to be the question. I did take her out from underneath the grow shelf, and I put her in this room where she gets a little more natural light. Plus, I opened this window here during the day to get that extra air in here. It is closed right now because neighbors, it's Saturday, and as you can see, it's a gorgeous day, and they're all out and about doing yard work and making all kinds of racket. So disrespectful when you're trying to film, but they don't know I'm filming. And then our leaf back here with this Paphiopedilum Mel Star, it's still growing. I don't see a spike in there, so maybe that's just a leaf. What else is going on? Oh, our gold staff here is still working on extending this spike here. And interestingly enough, this wanky spike, look at it. It has decided it is just going to go ahead and go. And I'm going to go ahead and see what it does. And then once it opens, if it opens its bloom, I will cut that spike just to encourage her for some vegetative growth for the growing season so that I can get a better bloom show next year. What else is going on? The Macotes in her self-watering setup here is still doing rather well, and as you can see, that leaf has gotten much larger. So I think this is working so far for her. And what else is going on over in here? Nothing really to write home about. Everybody's still just doing their own thing in here. All right, let's go to the grow shelf in the living room and let's see what's going on there. Real quick before we go in there though, my Zygonesia here is still pushing out that new growth and this new growth back here, and it looks like there's even a root trying to come out, which I wish it wouldn't, but I don't want to put anything on top of it because I don't want to rot that new growth. So what suggestions you guys have to keep that root alive and to maybe encourage it to go down? Leave that in the comments below. So now we're going to go into the living room and see what's going on. So let's start here with the BCT Hawaiian Treat. And I did turn the grow lights off just so you guys could see everything in their natural light, because I do know that the Burinos sometimes will put a pink tinge on things, and I wanted you guys to really see how gorgeous some of the blooms are without that lighting on them. But you see all those new juicy roots coming out. So I went ahead and I ordered a mount from Orchid Web. I'm waiting for it to come in. And once I get it, I will be remounting her onto that mount just to give her more space, because look how far away the roots are from the media. And I do not want to have to spray her every day or water her every day, 2 to 3 times a day. And my Mendenhall here is swelling those buds. So as soon as she opens at least 2 of them and I get some good pictures so I can compare to online, I will be cutting that spike again to encourage some vegetative growth for this growing season, because spring, summer is growing season for our phals. And I just show you Miss Kaleidoscope looking still fabulous. And I will be cutting all the spikes on my big girls by the end of the month of April. But look at Nerova. Isn't she just pretty? I only got 2 blooms off of her simply because I did break the spike earlier in the season, and she is working on another little bud in there, but like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and cut everybody and let them work on vegetative growth. And the good news is Art Deco is working on a new little leaf down there, so she's on her way to recovery. And anything else going on over here that we want to talk about? Oh, no, I already showed you the roots. So let's look up here. So this is Iris without the Barina light. Look how stunning. Let me see if I can steady it a little better. Sorry. Steady her. There we go. And then let's zoom in. Look at her. Like, is she not just beautiful? All that speckling, and then the almost like ruffles on the edges, and then that deep maroon throat. Just absolutely stunning, if you ask me. And then look at my Lou's Berry Orchid House, the one I got from Orchid Web. But she is almost completely opened her blooms, as well as those on the branch there. She just looks so pretty. Let's zoom in on her and get a really good look at her. Look at the softness of the flares. Look at that. She's not just beautiful. And I just love the aerial roots there in the background, just accenting everything. And anything else going on over here we want to talk about? Now, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but we have some plants missing, and we're going to go see where those are here in just a few moments. So nothing really spectacular going on down here so far. Everybody's just working on growth. And I did move the green leopard that I recently purchased from Big Leaf Orchids in here under the lights to help encourage some growth. She is still sitting in her moss setup. And then this is the summer rose. And that is Loki growling at someone walking by, so you'll have to excuse him. But look at that. See how it's got kind of that bluish purple tint to it? But she opens her blooms rather slowly. That first one opened up almost 3 weeks ago, and she's just slowly opening up those blooms. No big deal. And then, of course, Philippensis is working on that little leaf there. And my Phalaenopsis, which one is that? Jermaine Vincent, that I got from Yoshi at Plants and Other Things on his website, Orchids by the Lake. She has been potted up. I saw some new root growth on her, so she's been in her little setup for about a week. The Abinensis also, I saw some new root growth, so she is in her setup, and that spike is continuing to grow, as well as the leaves, so she's doing fine. And let me just show you Miss Yaupon Evergreen here, if I can turn this around. This is her in her natural lighting. Isn't she just beautiful? Just beautiful. With that yellow hint of green around the edges, and she's got this other one that's opening up, as well as, if I can move, well, maybe not. Let's just do it this way. I don't want to mess her up. But as you can see, she is working on another bud as well. So, but the best thing that's going on over here is my Bellina that I currently have in water culture, and I'm growing her in what's called full water culture. So she's never without water. I leave her with about this much water for about 5 days, and then she only has just kind of the bottom area for 2 days, and then I fill her back up. So, but she is doing new root growth in there, as well as new root growth up here. But more importantly, do you guys see what I see? She is finally doing a leaf growth. So I am excited about that, because I have had her for a while and she's not done anything. And my Karuna down here is working on some roots. I don't want to disturb her. I did cut both spikes off of my Speciosa, Deliciosa, sorry, my Deliciosa hookeriana. They just weren't blooming, and I said, well, I'm just going to cut those spikes off and let you start over and be done with it. And then let me pull Hariella out so you can kind of see what she looks like in natural light as well. Of course, her flower, that one is going over, but we've got this one. Look at that. I love the way that the back of the flower just sits up and then the lip just kind of lays. Do you see that? That is just beautiful with that little frill. And again, none of mine I have any scent off of. Oh, and we have a root growth right there. I just saw that. All right, well, let me just set her right there. And what else is going on over here in this neck of the woods? Speciosa Red is really getting that leaf pushed out. Bellina on the wall here. That that leaf is really working as well. And even though my lovely Zen Diamond here is showing no signs of going over, her spike will also be cut at the end of April. Both of the Miltoniopsis back there are in self-watering. I moved them into Leca recently. And my Epilalia Cattleya Volcano Trick is continuing on her new roots. I keep calling them roots. They're growths, Trish. They're growths. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I want to put this girl right here outside just because all of her growths are doing really, really well. She's got lots of roots now into that pot, and I feel like she'll do really well outside. But I'm debating. Let me know what you think down below. And then look at the growth on that Montana Big Sky. Like, it has really shot up. Really, really shot up. That's just amazing. And let me zoom back out. African Violet is still in lovely bloom. Now, the trick as far as what I do to keep these blooming is once the old blooms die off, let's see if I can, here's one. This bloom right here, I let them completely dry and then I just take them off. Do you see how that's completely dry? It's all papery. I will then just take and get to the end of it and I'll just pinch it off with my thumb. Oh, where did it go? And I drop it. There it is. But I just let them completely dry out before I take them off. Some people take them off as they're wilting. I find if you wait until they're completely dry, it'll continue to bloom for you. And my yellow one here, again, without the Barina lights. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. But you see how she kind of has a green tinge to her? Like, she's really bright. Let's see right here. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. You see how she kind of has that green tinge? She's like a pale, pale green. It's just beautiful. And I love this look here. Again, it just reminds me of a lady in a big dress dancing. And of course, Little Leaves, who I have renamed Pink Lady in honor of Miss Paula, because she and I both love the pinks. But this one, again, reminds me of the Lark Song, just a much larger version and a little bit more pale. And she has that crepe paper look. I know I've said that before, but that's what she reminds me of. And then other good news is my Soft Cloud that I have recently put into waterculture, again, full waterculture, she's a keiki machine. Look at that. She's growing her own keiki. This is a keiki growing a keiki, but look at all that new root growth coming down. Let's turn her around over here. Look at that. That's just lovely. I love it when I can see roots grow. I think that's one of the advantages of growing in waterculture is you can just watch all the growth, not only at the top, but at the bottom. And I'm just a sucker for roots, just a sucker for roots. And non-orchid related, my little Echeveria down here that I took off of the mother plant over there in the background because they broke off, they have really exploded into growth. And of course, Sherry Baby here, Mama Sherry Baby, I feel some swelling down here, so she'll be working on that bulb. And as you can see, it is going to be growing out of the pot on this side. So the next set of growths that I see, once they start growing their new roots, I am going to put her into a self-watering leca setup. I have already got the pot ready to go. It's a nice big square pot, shallow. I'm hoping it gives her plenty of room to grow. What else do we have? Sherry baby number 2, again, working. And my lovely white African violet is still in full bloom. That new growth is really pushing hard. The Catatante is still swelling her bud. I'm hoping for a bloom, perhaps. And the Antelope Dendrobium. And then my, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of this. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember what the name of this is to save my life right now. But her leaves are just continuing to grow. Even after one got broken and it dried off, the rest of them are just like, yeah, no problem, I'll keep growing. She'll be going outside probably at the end of May, once I know there's no more snow and really low temperatures where I can keep her overnight. I don't like moving her too much. What else? Not much else over here. Let's see, walk around that. Oh, Miss Princess. So I noticed this growth at the beginning of March, and here it is, middle of April, and it is really growing very fast, very, very fast. The Sherry baby number 3 back there in Lecca that I thought was gone is working on her growth, and she does have roots in there. They're just not long enough to see on the outside of the pot. And the best news of all is my Wilsonera Berrylicious. Her new growth is just going strong. It doesn't look very good, but this is the best that I've gotten so far. I mean, this was the last one, and it didn't, this one to me looks so much better. And there are roots in the pot. And my poor little Hilo Firecracker here has yet to produce a new growth, but she's not going downhill and continuing to put roots in the pot, so that is good news. So now let me take you guys and show you where some of those missing plants are. Okay, let me start with, you have to excuse the ground because we're redoing our backyard, but right now I have some of them sitting out here on this fence. Eventually I'm gonna put a shelf out here, but since I'm bringing them in and out on the nicer days, I'm just setting them on the fence at the moment. But my choices were, or are rather, my Brassavola, my Brassicattleya yellowbird here. And she has this lovely growth that she's growing. She's got this lovely growth right, let's see if I can get her, if you can see it. There it is. That beautiful growth, lots of roots going down into the pot. And then my Maxima, she is a seedling, but I think she'll be okay out here. She's an all moss, but she's got lots of root growth, and she has a lot of new growth. Do you see that new growth popping up right there? She's got that one, working on that one. So I think she'll be okay out here. And then one of my dendrobiums, one of the pink ones, put her out here. I've got the Neophonetia falcata out here, and I don't see any new root growth on her, but she does, I mean root growth, any fan growth, but she does have beautiful roots coming in. And then I've got the love knot, Leliocattleya love knot, and I do have the newest growth kind of towards the fence, just so she's not getting too much light, but all of the more mature are facing towards the light to grab as much energy as they can. And just as a disclaimer, this is a blooming size plant. I did not think she was when I unboxed her, but this growth right here had bloomed. I recently broke off the bloom spike. And then I've got my cucullata out here that, look at this. Now this red, it is the anthocyanin, but it's not from her being outside. She actually grows. Well, mine does. I don't know if all of them do. Mine actually grows with the anthocyanin really red, and then as it matures, it is more green. But with her being outside, I do expect her to probably have more anthocyanin than usual. Now this one, I do water thoroughly before I bring her outside, just to make sure, because she does have those thinner structures. I don't want her to divert energy from her new growth. All right, let's go look at the other side. Excuse our little mess over here. I threw all that on the floor this morning, or on the ground this morning, because I needed this space here. But I have the RLC Chia Golden Super, crossed with the RLC Hilo Grand. So I have had her since April of 2020, so I've had her for 2 years. She is still not produced any blooms, but has lots of new growth that she's provided for me. She's grown 4 new leaves since I've gotten her. This is her latest growth right here, and I did see a new growth right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, I see another one. So she has that new growth, and then look here, this looks like it's a double eye. So we may have 2 possible growths. That bottom one definitely, and that top one possibly. She's got lots of roots in the pot, and she is going to be out this year. I also brought out the Kingianum, hoping that I can get some roots, not roots, more growths and maybe some blooms next season. And of course, Miss Vanda, she grew last year on my front porch. This year she is going to grow back here. I haven't decided if I'm going to have her hanging again or if I'm going to set her on the shelf. But she is also going to be out here, and I'm still looking at a couple of the other ones to put outside. And again, non-orchid related, but I did want to show you guys my rose bush. So this one last year, I normally cut my rose bushes back at the end of fall. This year, or last year, I didn't do that, and look at the new growth already coming up on it. That is all old branches that have new root growth. I keep saying roots, new growth. You guys know what I mean. But look at that. And what I've done over the winter is my orchid mix, when I've gotten done with it, once a week, I would just dump it in there. And then the last month, every time I've watered, and sometimes that could be up to 3 times a week, I've just thrown the excess water on her. And I believe she is loving all that fertilizer, because the one in the front is just starting growth, and it's starting from the bottom, not from the older growth. Give me a second, we'll go look. So this is the other one, and she sits in the front of the house. They get pretty much the same amount of light, temperature, that good stuff. And again, I left the branches on there, but as you can see, there is no growth on these branches at all. Where the new growth is right down here at the bottom. So I recently started adding some orchid mix to these guys here, and you can see there's a little bit of growth on the bottom of these branches, but not like the other one. That is just so amazing to me. All right, so we are going to leave it here with the Cymbidium. And Paula, if you ever watch this, tell me if these are chicks or hens, or anyone else who knows. Are those the chicks or the hens? But either way it goes, they are just looking lovely. All right, guys, well, I appreciate you coming over again, and I will see you on the next one. Go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe if you don't mind, and have yourself a beautiful day.